Bert Bayer says, how many illegal immigrants would you estimate your administration has released into the country over the last 3.5 years? Kamala, I'm glad you raised the issue. Just a number. Do you think it's 1 million, 3 million? The point is, we have let me play the clip for you. It's insane. Here we go.
You know, voters tell pollsters all over the country and here in Pennsylvania that immigration is one of the key issues that they're looking at this election, and specifically the influx of illegal immigrants from more than 150 countries. How many illegal immigrants would you estimate your administration has released into the country over the last 3.5 years?
Well, I'm glad you raised the issue of immigration because I agree with you. It is a topic of discussion that people want to rightly have. And you know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah. Right. It's 1 million, 3 million.
Brett, let's just get to the point. That we have a broken immigration system that needs to be repaired.
So your Homeland Security Secretary said that 85% of apprehensions.
But I'm not finished. Let's get to the point. Yo, she spoke for 25 seconds and she said literal nothing. Wait, it's better. Michael Knowles has this clip. Kamala, you and I both know what I'm talking about, but actually don't. What are you talking about? Check this clip out.
Frankly, exhausted of Brett.
More than 70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. Yeah. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
What?
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on. You and I both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade, people have become. But listen, over the last decade, it is clear to me, and certainly the Republicans who are on stage with me, frankly, exhausted.
Yo, that clip, look, I was laughing half the time and banging my head on the coffee table the other half the time. Kamala Harris, this is the way I explain it. She says so many words to say so little. Look at that first clip. Well, I'm glad you brought up immigration because it's a topic of discussion that people want to have. And you know, I'm going to talk about it. So please, let me finish. Let's get to the point. Immigration.
Just filibustering, endless filibustering, just to keep him from getting his questions out.
Weirdly, even though she's against the filibuster, she wants to end the filibuster in Congress, but she is pro-filibuster. It kind of is a masterclass in talking past literally everyone. I mean, the fact that she opened with, yes, that's true, that is a topic that people want to talk about, and then somehow just tried to continue on without answering the question.
Well, I say you're half right, because she is absolutely showing a filibuster, but I don't think it's a masterclass, because when she said, and Donald Trump has been running since, and he's like, what? People are not answering the polls, the country's on the wrong track because Donald Trump decided to run for office a year ago.
Yeah.
That's not it. That shows to me that she really has no idea what to say. And then she goes, you know what I'm talking about. We both, it's like, what?
Good for him, though, for saying no. I have no idea what you're talking about, because she's just spewing nonsense. And it's hilarious because everyone on the left is saying, this was an ambush. These were gotcha questions. That's how it feels when someone asks you basic, reasonable questions when all you've ever gotten are softball interviews. But he's not digging up information about her past that she was unprepared to discuss or anything like that. He's not throwing cheap shots at her. He's asking her about the southern border. He's asking her, how can you run as if you're a fresh face and this is all about change and modifying the system when you're the sitting vice president? Just really basic questions that she should have an answer for.
I think he did ask. He mentioned Laken Riley as well as many others. And he said even Joe Biden said that if this man had been properly vetted, she would not have lost her life. Do you think you owe this family an apology? And she said, I'm so sorry for your loss, to one of the women. I think that we should take that as an admission. So she didn't say yes, but she did say, I'm so sorry for your loss. As far as I'm concerned, I think a fair headline is Kamala Harris assumes responsibility for the failed border border vetting under the Biden-Harris administration. You know, I think she's in a position where that was an excellent question from Bret Baier. He had a series of really good questions. They were, I gotta be honest, guys, they're vanilla pudding questions.
Yeah.
He was
very basic.
He wasn't trapping her.
No, he didn't ask her what a woman was.
Right.
That's
It's not a really hard question like that.
No, but it's a cultural, it's a big hit. But there's a way you can ask questions to catch someone. Notably, when we had Marianne Williamson on this show, I will admit that I did a gotcha on her, where I asked her, we were talking about social justice and things, and I said, do you think that if a person can't get a fair trial, we should still prosecute? And she goes, no, if you can't get a fair trial, then you're free to go. And I said, so if in a state, for instance, someone was accused of a crime and the judge says there is no jurisdiction in the state where this person will get a fair trial, you think we should let this person go? And she goes, yes. And then I said, like Derek Chauvin. And she just went, oh. That was a gotcha. I walked her into it. Brett Baer didn't do anything like that.
Nothing even approaching
Nothing even approaching that. But I do want to stress, when he asked about, does a family need an apology, Kamala Harris says, I am so, so sorry for your loss. I am so, so sorry for your loss. I think we should be Trump should take the line, wow, Kamala Harris apologized for the death of these women. It's very admirable that she accepted responsibility for her failed border policies.
Well, I think there's another line that Trump should take as well, which is, this is the person who some sizable number of people in this country are actually considering electing to place in a position where she's going to be across the table from Putin or Xi. She couldn't tolerate a conversation with Brett Baer, and you saw her lose her temper. You saw her start to flail and get emotional and angry in response to very basic, very fair questions. And she didn't even give answers, even when she was trying to skirt around the questions. She didn't give answers that even sounded slick. Oftentimes, politicians will say something that isn't true. You're well aware of the fact that it's a lie, but you say that was rhetorically effective. I understand why they're in the position that they're in. But when he says a majority of Americans think this country's headed in the wrong direction, and she goes, well, Donald Trump is running for president. You go, what? This is supposed to be a person this is someone who's going to be talking to our foreign adversaries?
So I don't normally read Super Chats mid-show, but Steve Powell says Kamala in that interview is like Charlie Kelly from It's Always Sunny acting like a lawyer.
Yes.
If you know the reference.
Bird law. She was literally practicing bird law. That's what I saw.
Well, my question is they had to have known, her campaign had to have known that this is how it was going to go at some level. So my question is, what was the political calculation there? Why did they do this? Okay. Are they so confident that they're confident that she's going to win because they're cheating enough? Or were they that desperate that they needed to put her on an interview like this?
I'm of two minds. One is that, there's a talking point that Donald Trump is ducking the media. Sonny Hawson in The View saying Trump's hiding while Kamala's doing interviews. When Donald Trump was down in the polls, he did a bunch of press. He went on adversarial corporate news outlets as well. And we kept saying the same thing, like, why is he going on? We know they're going to contort and they're going to twist what he's saying. But the Trump campaign's trying to find a way to get some kind of positive message out. Here's the thing. Democrats recently there was an internal report that said their attack ads on Trump are helping him.
I saw that.
You saw it. Yeah. When Donald Trump talks, it helps him more than it hurts him. So Democrats were playing clips of Trump thinking people are going to get mad, and they're like, I actually like what he's saying. So when Trump goes on the corporate press and we say they're going to lie about it, it doesn't matter because Trump gets through to the people. Kamala Harris does not.
That's right.
Kamala is now down in the polls, down in the prediction markets, down in the betting odds. And so her campaign is saying we have to do something. When Donald Trump was doing the press and she wasn't, she started going down. This is when her campaign likely said we need to try to regain the narrative. And it's only been worse. But what do you do when you're in a tailspin? There's nothing they can do. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.